everybody. It is January 3rd, 2014. There you go. The year 2013 went by, bam, like that. Amazing. Like I said, before you know it, I'll be saying it's March or April again in 2014. So make sure that you're taking care of your time and doing something constructive like voice lessons, right? Take one of your zens and your passions and get better at it, be it voice lessons or golf, whatever. But here on this side, what is it about? Of course, it's about voice. And to talk about this week's weekly wrap-up, okay, 2 releases, still in the harmony course. Harmony course is building now. We have been working on major chords, and now recently we're working on the minor chords. And step 17 and step 18 were about holding the root and holding the flat third of the minor chord. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yeah, we'll get the 5th out of the way. And then we'll move on and start harmonizing some melody lines. That gets to be a lot of fun. So that's happening. Now in the advanced voice course, be expecting to see it get wrapped up pretty soon. There's a few more clips to wrap it up and put it in a nice little package for you. And you'll be seeing those clips coming up. You'll see at least one, if not more, this coming week, next week. So be on the lookout for that, as well as more fun things with the harmony course, because wrapping up the advanced voice course pretty soon, and the harmony course is starting to get into momentum, and some very fun, surprising things are going to happen. You're going to be seeing songs and breakdowns in harmony in relationship to the harmony course. And I look forward to doing that. That's what I've been working on and building you for. Also, I keep saying it, you know, if you just want to be a better singer, you still should be going through this harmony course, because working on the harmony course and hearing these intervals and holding your part against the intervals is the same thing as singing your melody line in tune as a lead singer. They're the exact same thing. Every melody line in the world is a harmony. Every melody line in the world is part of the harmony of the chord structure that's built around it. So, work on the harmony course, and that's what that was all about. Now on the musical tip of the week, last week I gave you a little information about the actual biological parts of the human voice in relationship to how it all works and what it is. I thought, sort of continuing in that same vein, to talk about the difference between children's voices and adults' voices. Okay, so to start with, both male and female voices are basically the same from infancy up through childhood until they reach puberty. At that moment in time, when they reach puberty, things start to change big time pretty quick. And just like the human body, when the hormones kick in and the voices start to get lower, and girls and guys' voices change, the ranges change all over the place. Part of it has to do with the hormones hitting the body, also the actual length of the vocal folds. As the vocal cords grow longer and thicker, the voices are going to get lower. Nobody knows ahead of time, for example, if a boy soprano is going to become a tenor, a baritone, or a bass even. You have to wait and see. It's like guessing how tall somebody's going to be. You kind of have to wait and see how their body shapes up. So no one can make that distinction. Now in our world here, in our culture, and I work with kids who are in productions all the time. They're in high school productions, or they're in musical theater, and they're all looking for vocal instructors and voice. With that said, you have to be careful with them as they're going through voice change. And there's been an argument raging for 200 years or more about what should happen during that voice change. Some people say it should be total rest, just no singing whatsoever during that time. Others argue that the proper, easier exercises and keeping them aware of what's going on could actually be helpful for them as they're making their transition. One thing's for sure, singing too hard or too rigorously as a person is going through voice change can be detrimental and harmful for the voice. Easy exercises, exercises that balance the air pressure, the types of exercises that I'm always talking about, without putting the hard compression exercises into it much, without putting the loud, strong crescendo exercises into it. You can't do those, but you can certainly do air balancing exercises and work with them as they're moving from one point in their life, singing-wise, to another. Now, as far as that transition is concerned, time-wise, for the speaking voice, 3 to 6 months, with about a year being the extreme to get rid of all of that cracking and the real change happen. But in the singing voice, it takes longer, because those transitions that have to be made as a singer, working through their bridges and those connections as the vocal folds are changing in strength and size, makes it a little difficult to navigate. So again, you have to let those chords grow and get stronger before you can put strong resistance against it. So now here's the interesting dilemma. For children, probably the most prevalent style of singing is choir singing. And if the choir director is constantly asking for more volume and more strength and more power, which I hear all the time, so at what age would I like to see a student come in to really be serious about their study? Honestly, for the guys around 18 years of age and for the ladies around 17 years of age. Do I teach students younger than that? Absolutely I do. I have so many students, as I've told you, who are in musical theater, and hey, they need voice lessons just to save them. But I'm always trying to be the voice of reason with the younger voices. And that's pretty tough sometimes, because I'm at odds with other agendas in relationship to them singing in a music, having a musical theater part that they're singing in, what the music teacher who's teaching them to sing a particular musical and the songs, what they're asking them to do. So these are the dilemmas of a vocal instructor, and these are the dilemmas of a music teacher in the schools and choir directors. So we're not all in agreement with each other because our agendas are different. But my agenda is to build the biggest and strongest and most beautiful voices. I've had both male and females, girls and boys, come in with fantastic pitch, with such a great head start. And I always work with balancing out their voices. The trouble, again, is when they are singing in a musical theater and they're being asked to just belt big time. First of all, there's a big controversy about belting. And that's at any age, let alone as they're going through high school. Anyway, it is my dilemma, and I work at being very careful with the young voices and balancing them out and going for a sweet sound in relationship to what they're doing and teaching them, not putting too much heavy demand on their voice whatsoever. And as they start to grow and mature, just like the natural strength of the body comes in. So what you don't want to do is tear their bodies up while they're growing up. So what's my musical tip? Well, young voices, you have to be careful with them, and you do have to watch them during voice change. And some should stop singing for a little while. Others don't need to. All of them could probably benefit from a balanced approach towards exercises that would help them keep their pitch together and the air pressures correct, and keeping them flexible as they're going through this voice change. Now, once we get over the hurdle of physicality in relationship to young voices becoming adults, then we can just get into the classifications. They will naturally move into their classifications. The guys being basses, baritones or bassos, and tenors. The ladies being contraltos, sopranos, both first and second soprano, and altos. And so those are kind of the voice classifications, and most adults have at least a 2-octave range who are studying, but it could be 3 octaves or more quite easily, really, when they're doing the right things and understand how to move from one part of the range to the other, which is also something that I'm constantly working on with all of my students, both on the site and in private lessons. Now, another thing to understand is that you don't type them just by their ranges. I mean, range comes into play, but you have to listen to the character and quality of the voice. A voice may be able to expand in range quite high and quite low, but it doesn't mean that the male voice is necessarily a tenor. He could be a baritone with some tenor qualities, but really the quality of his voice is very bass and much more baritone sounding like, which would make him a baritone with great range. And a lot of contraltos are really can be actually second sopranos. Many mezzo-sopranos invade the territory of a true soprano, going up in range that's actually with too much power and too much energy, which is called pulling chest, up into an area of the voice where the crowd roars because you hit that big note with that full sound, and everybody loves it. But if your voice is not pitched in the right place, and if you don't understand how to get to that note without pushing too hard and pressure, again, that becomes detrimental. And yes, there is a technique to teach you how to sing high and very low in your range, but still, with that said, there's still a quality of your voice and the tessitura, the area of your voice where it's the strongest, and there is a natural place for everybody, and you have to find that and key it, and then really sing in those keys. That's another subject, but it's a perfect segue. I've talked about it before, and that is, what keys should you be singing in? And the answer is, you should be singing in the key where the highest and lowest note of the song, the prevalent highest and lowest notes of the song, are figured out, finding a middle point note and taking that middle point note and putting it in the middle of your tessitura, the sweetest spot of your voice, and so you can expand lower and higher from there. That's the right place to be singing for the best sound and also for the best health of your voice. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about the actual parts of the human voice, hey, check out last week's weekly wrap-up. I did exactly that, talked about the actual biological parts of the human voice. And this week, I'm still talking about how those parts come together right now, but in relationship to the air pressure that's pushing through the vocal cords, the length of the vocal cords, the thickness of the vocal cords, and the amount of pressure and support on how things come through your voice have everything to do with the health and quality of what you're going to hear. So, now, that's for everybody. You know, you can be on the site and get that information, but you can also be on the site and learn how to harmony sing. You can learn beginning, intermediate, and advanced lessons that totally work on expanding your range and teaching you how to smoothly go through and even classify what your voice is so you understand what you are, making sure that you know if you're a baritone, a bass, soprano, or an alto, or a contralto. So, totallyvocals.com. Come on over. See you there.